What does it mean when a star player prioritizes winning over character? Connor McDavid's recent comments on the potential signing of Evander Kane have stirred controversy, sparking a debate on leadership and ethics in hockey. This incident raises critical questions about the evolving culture of the sport and the responsibilities of its most prominent figures.
Response to rumors of Edmonton potentially signing Evander Kane. CBC Sports contributor Shireen Ahmed is here to put McDavid's take into context.
Evander Kane's potential signing with the Edmonton Oilers has stirred up quite the conversation in the hockey community, and it's not hard to see why. For those unfamiliar, Kane is a talented player, but his career has been overshadowed by a series of controversies. These issues range from personal and legal troubles to accusations that have painted a rather complicated picture of him both on and off the ice. Kane has faced accusations of gambling debts, which even led to a bankruptcy filing, a rare sight in professional sports. More troubling, though, are the allegations of domestic violence, which have raised serious concerns about his character. These issues are not just minor off-ice distractions. They touch on some pretty heavy topics like abuse and accountability, which are being increasingly scrutinized in sports today. Now, you might be wondering why this is such a big deal for a team like the Oilers to consider signing him. Well, the answer lies in how these controversies reflect on the team and the sport as a whole. In recent years, the NHL and its fans have been more vocal about holding players accountable for their actions off the ice. This isn't just about being good at hockey anymore. It's about representing values that fans can get behind. When a player like Kane, with such a checkered past, is considered for a team, it sends a message about what the organization prioritizes: winning games or upholding a certain moral standard. This whole situation also ties into a broader discussion about hockey culture. The sport has been grappling with issues like racism, sexism, and abuse, and how these problems are often swept under the rug in favor of preserving the good old boys club mentality. Just think about the recent Kyle Beach case, which brought to light how some NHL organizations have mishandled serious allegations. It's a reminder that hockey culture still has a lot of growing up to do. So, when Connor McDavid, the Oilers captain, downplayed the concerns about potentially bringing Kane on board, it struck a nerve. It wasn't just about signing a player with skills, it was about whether the team, and by extension the sport, was willing to look past serious allegations for the sake of winning. This isn't just a local Edmonton issue, it's a microcosm of the larger cultural shift happening in hockey, where fans and players alike are demanding more accountability and better character from those who represent the sport. The controversy surrounding Evander Kane's potential signing is more than just a question of whether he's good on the ice. It's about what kind of culture the NHL and its teams want to foster, and whether they're willing to take a stand on issues that go beyond the game itself. It's a conversation that's been a long time coming, and one that isn't going away anytime soon.
I'm not really here to discuss optic issues. If fans don't like it, or the media doesn't like it, or whatever, I think, it is what it is.
Connor McDavid, the captain of the Edmonton Oilers, recently found himself in the middle of a controversy after commenting on the rumors about his team potentially signing Evander Kane. McDavid's statement seemed straightforward, but it quickly became a lightning rod for criticism. He said, "I'm not really here to discuss optic issues. If fans don't like it, or the media doesn't like it, or whatever. I think, it is what it is."
That we're in it for the win. We trust Ken Holland. Well, gee, what could go wrong if you blindly trusted like a GM? I wonder. I think his comments made a lot of people think, and from what I saw, have we not learned anything, and has he not learned anything?
McDavid was emphasizing that his primary concern is winning games and trusting the Oilers management, particularly the team's general manager Ken Holland. He made it clear that, from his perspective, the decision to bring Kane on board should be based on what the player can contribute on the ice rather than the off-ice controversies. It's not unusual for athletes to express a focus on the game, but the way McDavid phrased it felt dismissive to many people. The real issue here wasn't just that McDavid was focused on winning. It was the way he seemed to brush off the concerns of fans and media as irrelevant by saying, If fans don't like it or the media doesn't like it or whatever, McDavid appeared to suggest that these opinions didn't matter, which struck a chord with a lot of people. Fans, after all, are a huge part of the sport's lifeblood, and the media plays a crucial role in holding teams and players accountable. His comments were seen by many as a bit tone-deaf, especially given the broader conversations around character and accountability in hockey.
Yeah, I think the technical term here is ratioed. But like the response on Twitter was also not only from a media perspective, but when you had the hockey community come in and speak, and forums on social media provide that platform.
The immediate reaction to McDavid's comments was intense. Social media platforms, especially Twitter, lit up with reactions from fans, media personalities, and even other athletes. The term ratioed was thrown around, indicating that McDavid's statement received a lot more criticism than support. Many felt that McDavid missed an opportunity to address the more significant issues at play, such as the ethical considerations of signing a player with Kane's history. This situation also brought back memories of how McDavid and the Oilers handled previous controversies, like the racial abuse faced by former teammate Ethan Bear. Critics argued that McDavid's quick defense of management contrasted sharply with the delayed and seemingly reluctant support for Bear during that tough time. It raised questions about whether McDavid and the Oilers are consistently standing up for the right values. The reaction to Connor McDavid's comments about the potential signing of Evander Kane was swift and widespread, sparking a lot of discussion in the hockey community. Fans and media alike were quick to weigh in, and the feedback was overwhelmingly critical. Many people felt that McDavid's remarks were dismissive of important issues, particularly when he brushed off concerns from fans and the media with a nonchalant, "It is what it is." One of the most telling indicators of the backlash was how McDavid's comments were ratioed on social media. For those who might not be familiar, being ratioed refers to a social media post receiving a significantly higher number of negative responses, like comments or dislikes, compared to likes or retweets. It's a modern way of measuring public disapproval. In this case, the term perfectly captured the overwhelming negative sentiment McDavid faced. Twitter, in particular, became a hotspot for this discussion, with many users expressing disappointment and frustration. Prominent voices in sports media also chimed in, providing more structured critiques. Shireen Ahmed from CBC Sports was one of the notable figures who dissected McDavid's comments. She pointed out that his remarks seemed to ignore the recent history of troubling incidents in the NHL, like the Kyle Beach case, and other issues related to racism and accountability in the sport. Ahmed stressed that McDavid, as a captain, has a responsibility not just to his team, but to the larger hockey community to set a standard for behavior and character. Ahmed's insights echoed a broader sentiment that McDavid had missed an opportunity to align himself with positive change in the sport. Many in the hockey community are calling for more inclusive and respectful attitudes, especially from high-profile players. By focusing solely on winning and dismissing the concerns of fans and media, McDavid seemed to be out of step with these evolving values. The reaction wasn't just about what McDavid said, but also what he didn't say. His failure to address the specific concerns about Kane's past behavior left many feeling uneasy. It seemed as though McDavid was prioritizing the immediate goal of winning games over fostering a culture of respect and integrity. This was particularly jarring given the recent emphasis on addressing issues like racism and abuse within the sport. Overall, the public and media reaction highlighted a significant disconnect between McDavid's comments and the expectations of fans and commentators. People expect more from their sports heroes, not just in terms of performance, but also in their stance on social issues. The backlash McDavid faced serves as a reminder that athletes today are not just judged on their skills, but also on their character and leadership. It's a tough position to be in, but it's also part of the job, especially for someone in a leadership role like McDavid. The incident has sparked an important conversation about the responsibilities of athletes beyond the ice and the kind of culture that the hockey community wants to cultivate moving forward. So, what are your thoughts on this? Let us know in the comments below,